For nations that treat us badly, we will calculate the combined rate of all their tariffs, non-monetary barriers, and other forms of cheating.
In early April 2025, U.S. President Donald Trump announced sweeping new tariffs on global imports. The plan includes a base 10% tariff on almost all foreign goods entering the United States, as well as additional reciprocal tariffs based on trade imbalances. This announcement quickly made headlines, sending shockwaves across the globe, particularly among America's key trading partners. The European Union, Canada, Mexico, China, and Japan all were named as targets of these additional duties. Cash-strapped Ukraine, which is defending itself against Russian invasion, was also targeted with a 10% tariff. But one country was notably absent from Trump's updated tariff list: Russia. Despite years of confrontation, sanctions, and an ongoing war in Ukraine, Russia has been spared these latest economic penalties. Why? According to White House spokesperson Karoline Leavitt, the administration decided not to target Russia, as well as close Russian allies Belarus and North Korea, with new tariffs because, in her words, there is no meaningful trade. In other words, Washington claims there's simply nothing left to sanction, because the current restrictions already limit U.S.-Russia trade to near zero. But is that actually true? The data tells a different story. In 2024, the United States still imported $3.5 billion worth of goods from Russia. Its top products were radioactive chemicals, $1.21 billion, and fertilizers, $1.04 billion. That's down from pre-2022 levels, but it's hardly zero. The U.S. actually imported more from Russia in 2024 than from some other countries that did receive reciprocal tariffs under Trump's new plan. For example, Syria, Laos, and Fiji were hit with tariffs even though the U.S. imports significantly less from these countries than from Russia. So by the administration's own logic, which ties tariffs to trade deficits, Russia should be paying up to 42% in tariffs. But it's not. So why was Russia excluded? One reason may be the kind of imports. Trump may be seeking to protect American farmers, a key constituency, by keeping the cost of fertilizer low. Many analysts suggest Trump is seeking to use tariffs as a political bargaining tool. Trump may not want to escalate tensions with Russian leader Vladimir Putin while he seeks to reach an end to the war in Ukraine. Similarly, U.S. adversary Iran was put at the lowest tier of new tariffs, while staunch U.S. ally Israel received a higher tariff. Finally, Trump may be seeking closer political and economic ties with Russia. On April 2nd, dubbing it Liberation Day, Trump announced his tariffs on almost every country in the world, including some of America's closest allies such as Canada, the UK, the European Union, and Ukraine. Meanwhile, on the same day, Kirill Dmitriev, the head of the Russian Direct Investment Fund, RDIF, and special representative of Russian President Vladimir Putin, became the first senior Russian official to visit the U.S. since Russia's February 2022 full-scale invasion of Ukraine. He said he'd come to discuss economic matters. According to Dmitriev, there was a great desire by American companies to return to Russia. Dmitriev also said he discussed the possibility of cooperation on rare earth metals in the Arctic and in various other sectors. So what happens next? Will Russia continue to benefit from its tariff exemption, or will future trade actions catch up to the Kremlin as negotiations shift and political winds change? For now, one thing is clear. Despite President Trump's calls for fairness, balance, and reciprocity in global trade, Russia remains exempt from a major part of the new tariff regime, even though, by the administration's own math, it qualifies for a very hefty tariff. And that fact alone raises bigger questions about U.S. priorities, about economic policy, and about what message Washington is sending to both its allies and its adversaries.